The Boy Beneath the Mango Tree. It was during the Eid holidays when I returned to my village after months of living in the city. Life there was completely different. No traffic, no endless noise, no bright lights keeping you awake all night. Just quiet evenings, cool breezes, and the peaceful sounds of nature. One evening, I called my cousin and asked him to meet me. He answered, "Give me about 30 minutes, I'll be there." I decided to walk along the narrow dirt road while waiting. The village was unusually silent. Most families had already finished dinner and gone to bed. Unlike the city, people here wake before sunrise, so nights become empty very quickly. Only the sound of crickets filled the darkness. As I continued walking, I noticed a large mango tree standing beside the road. Underneath it sat a young boy. He looked no older than 11 or 12. His face was hidden in the shadows. I smiled and asked, "Hey, what are you doing out here all by yourself?" He looked at me quietly before answering. "My grandfather told me to wait." "Oh yeah? What's your name?" "My name is Kamrul." His voice was calm, almost too calm. "So where's your grandfather?" Before he could answer, I suddenly heard someone calling behind me. "Who are you talking to?" I turned around. It was my cousin. "You finally made it," I said. He looked confused. "I told you 30 minutes. I actually got here in less than 10. I laughed. "No way, I've been walking for hours." He frowned. "Check your watch." I looked down. Only 9 minutes had passed. 9? It felt impossible. The road had seemed endless. The conversation with the boy had felt much longer. Something wasn't right. I turned back toward the mango tree. The boy was gone. Completely gone. "Where's the kid?" my cousin asked. "He was standing right here." There wasn't anyone here. He told me his name was Kamrul. The moment I said that name, my cousin's face turned pale. He stared at me without saying a word. "What?" He slowly whispered, "Are you feeling okay?" I asked why he looked so frightened. Instead of answering, he began telling me a story that had happened just days earlier. Kamrul had been visiting his grandparents in the neighboring village. One evening, his grandfather stepped into a nearby house for a few minutes. Kamrul stayed behind at a small roadside shop playing games on his phone. Another teenager named Jamal had spent the past week becoming friends with him. They played games almost every day. That evening, Jamal invited Kamrul to play one more game in a nearby wooded area. Kamrul trusted him. He followed without hesitation. But he never came back. When night fell and Kamrul couldn't be found, the entire village searched for him. His parents, his grandparents, neighbors, everyone. Loudspeakers announced that a young boy was missing. Hours turned into an entire night. There was still no sign of him. The next morning, people gathered near a dense forest after someone made a horrifying discovery. Kamrul's body. The scene was beyond words. His arms had been severed. His body had been brutally mutilated. A lantern and a flashlight were lying nearby. Police quickly surrounded the area. Their investigation led to a nearby house. When officers called for Jamal, he ran. That was enough to convince police that he was involved.
He was arrested immediately. During questioning, Jamal confessed. According to investigators, he admitted that Kamrul had been lured into the forest. He was drugged until unconscious. Then, members of an illegal organ trafficking network removed his kidneys and eyes before leaving his body behind. When investigators asked why his hands had been severed, Jamal claimed wild animals probably did that afterwards. Whether that explanation was true, no one knew. My cousin finished telling the story. Neither of us spoke. The silence felt heavier than ever. I could still remember the boy's face beneath the mango tree, his quiet voice, his simple answer. My grandfather told me to wait. Wait. For who? For what? When I finally reached home, I wanted to tell my mother everything. I wanted to ask if she believed spirits could return after death. But I stayed silent. She already thought I imagined too many things. If I told her I had spoken to a dead boy, she would probably think I'd lost my mind. Even now, years later, I still remember that night. Sometimes I wonder if Kamrul was simply waiting for someone to know what had happened to him. Or perhaps he was still waiting for the grandfather who never came back. And whenever I pass a lonely road at night and see an old mango tree standing in the darkness, I never stop, because somewhere beneath those branches, someone might still be waiting.